Sorry.
Okay. One of the problems is that this take folder plays really poorly with the Flex editor. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's a real pain in the rear, and I'm going to hopefully be able to show you some of the problems with that. So I'm just going to go in here and look at this track here. You'll see that this is not a take. Now, I'll show you right here. On this one, if I wanted to go here, I can click on this A, and I can do a couple things. One is I can unpack. And when it unpacks, it takes those two takes and puts take 1 and 2 here on the next tracks. You see that? So then I can work with them separately. Now, another thing you can also do is I could merge them. Whoops. I could flatten them. So now it's like that, but I still have 2 audio tracks. Or I can flatten and merge, and this actually makes 2 audio tracks. I'm not going to do it. Makes a new audio track and makes it just on 1. What I would suggest doing is you do your comp track first, then I would probably merge it, not flatten and merge it. Then I would do your flex editing on it. But going back and forth between the flex editing and the comping is ugly, unfortunately. You'd think they would do a better job of that. So we go over here.
I am looking for a new addition.
Oh, let's do that. That's perfect. That's a good one to clean up.
I don't want to get you out.
Perfect. Okay. So Flex Editor is this guy right here, and then you click it on the track. It now has to analyze the actual audio track in the back. Pretty slow. It might take a little longer to do that. Come here, and now if I zoom in, it starts to look like this. By default, it puts it in polyphonic, which you pretty much never want to do. You pretty much always want to have it on pitch. So you click this finger here, go up to Flex Pitch, and ideally you should see notes in there. If you look really close here, you can see the pitches. Now, one nice thing is you can just double click here, open it down below, I hit track, and now.
I don't want to get you out my.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we like to see. There it is. Sometimes you have to turn it on here too. There it is. Okay, so I had to turn the flex track on. So this is the magnified version of that track up above. Sound good? Easy so far, right? Okay. Hard to think of anything much better than learning to tune vocals, at least until they come up with that software that will.
I don't want to get you out my system.
Okay. She's got a pretty good pitch. She has a vibrato that's a little out of control in her voice that we want to tame a bit. And so I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do that. I'm going to actually kill the rest of that so you can see. This is pretty typical looking vocal information. What we have in the back here is the waveform, so you can see there. And then this is the notes that Logic thinks she is singing right here. So one of the first things you can do is if you right click right here, you can set all the perfect pitch. It'll snap all those to the closest pitch. Okay. Now I can see that there's probably a problem here because I see, what note is this anyway? Right here. And I see. Yeah, how often do we have those 3 chromatic notes next to each other? Not too often, right? Unless we're doing blues or something. Okay? And then she's got a whole step up to this. So this is probably right. This makes sense, an A chord here. Right here, there's probably a problem. I'm going to guess that this note is incorrect based on what I'm seeing over here. Now, a lot of singers wouldn't even snap that closely to it. Wouldn't even snap that closely. Myself being one. So even though she's got this little vibrato issue, she is hitting pretty well on the notes when it finds it. So I'm going to listen.
I don't want to get you out my system. I don't want to get you out my system.
That sounds low to me. Does anyone know what key this was in?
I don't want to get you out my system.
Nope.
I don't want to get you out my system.
What's that? You think these are high?
No, I think the
Three notes.
Consecutive notes. Oh, no.
Okay, so here's the first thing I want to show you. I just hit undo, and the whole thing's frozen. So this is the really lame part of. Oh my gosh! Come here. Wow. Okay.
I don't wanna get you out my system. I don't.
I guess that's right, right? So I think this is probably supposed to be.
I don't wanna get you out my system. I don't want.
It sounds a little weird to me. Any other thoughts on those notes?
Maybe.
That's what they're going to be. So, the human voice, of course, as it moves around, doesn't really stay at a pitch, and we tend to hear this is the pitch even if she's going, she's kind of going off here. On each one of these, if I click on it, there are these dots around it. You see those dots? That one? Okay. And I'll just show pitch drift is how much it will drift coming into the note. Okay. Pitch drift out is how much it'll drift going out of the note. Now, almost all of our notes, when we sing them, will come up. They go. They almost always do that. Okay. Right here in the middle is the fine pitch. Come on, sorry. Okay, there we go. Fine pitch. Yeah. Then on the bottom, we're going to get how loud the note is. This one's really handy. Ooh, you don't need a compressor anymore. Look at that. Right? Oh, this one's too quiet. Let me turn up that note. And guess what? Yep, they should all look about the same size. So here's a really easy way, and I can scroll up a little bit, to start to not have to have the compressor do as much work. You see that? Then I can use the compressor more as a leveler instead of trying to fix really problematic notes. See that? So if I hear a loud note, I can adjust it. So that's the front left one. Format shift is if you wanted to make her sound like a dude. Let's see. Maybe we could do it. I don't really use it that much.
I don't wanna get you out my system.
Worked better than I thought it would, actually.
Wow. Make yourself Shakira.
And what did you say?
I said make her sound like Shakira.
Well, they probably do that to people, right? And then this middle one is reduces the vibrato, and you see it kind of flattens the note out there.
Oh, is that like auto-tune?
I don't wanna get you out my.
Okay, so
I don't wanna get you.
oh,
It was funny.
I don't want.
so I just hit undo, and it did this thing again. So this is just a glitch in Logic. It's pretty bad, actually. Like my magnifying glass isn't even showing up there. Okay. So I hit undo and it zoomed out, right? Great. So one of the things you could do is flatten the vibrato, right? This is more with Drake. Oh, by the way, this would be a good project for someone to figure out how to get Drake sounding vocals, because I still haven't had a very good chance with that. But it's something like this, right?
I don't wanna get you out my system.
Not too bad though. It's pretty natural sounding, right? Pretty natural. So then if you want to change the pitch, oops.
I don't wanna get you out my system. 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 I don't wanna get.
She sounds like
It sounds
Gladys.
like auto-tune.
Now it's getting more auto-tuned, and maybe that is how Drake does it, right?
Can you do it like dramatically?
I don't wanna get you out my system. I don't wanna
What's
get
that?
you out.
Can you do it like really dramatic? Can you put it up like a?
That's pretty dramatic right there.
I don't wanna get you out my system. I don't wanna get you out my system. I don't wanna get you out my system.
David's starting to like it. It's sounding all melodic. I won't let him do melodies anymore.
So we're talking about
So you see when I'm hitting undo here, and it's like now there's no wave showing.
I don't wanna.
It actually literally stops working there. Okay, it's going. sometimes in mine, I can't get that.
Where'd it go?
Oops, sorry.
Where'd you go?
There it is. So kind of back.
I don't wanna get you out my system.
Okay, so on some of these it's pretty easy. It sounded pretty good pretty quick, right? We just kind of turned the vibrato down on those. Like I said, that's something Justa can work on, is getting just a little bit more control over vibrato.
Get you out my
And what do you use to
system.
control the vibrato?
The middle dot right here in the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
Turn this into the
Can you exaggerate the vibrato too?
Yes, yes, you can. Yes.
Are you pressing like a certain button or something to show the wavelengths and then turn them off?
No, I'm hitting undo and they disappear.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, what the hell? And then I click the background and then they come back. But on mine, a bunch of times it doesn't come back. And then it's like,
Preston has a question.
How do you bring it back?
yeah,
When it doesn't-
I don't know. I hit undo and redo a bunch of times. I close the window. Sometimes I quit Logic. Sometimes I restarted the computer. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. It's a glitch. So yeah, I can really turn the vibrato up there.
I don't out my system. I do out my system.
Oh. Okay. So I probably would turn the vibrato to now.
I don't wanna.
If we listen right here, so some of these are sounding pretty natural and they're pretty easy. You can see right off the bat that she's kind of right on those notes. But the harder ones are these first ones, right? Where she's scooping into it a little bit.
I don't wanna get you out my system. I
Okay, so these last ones sound pretty good.
get you out my system. I don't.
Okay. But we got a little bit of an issue in this first one. Now, the first thing you should do is pray that maybe you can figure this out. So I had like the Melodyne expert show me this stuff, but it still turns into a disaster. One of the things you want us to look for is the notes. So let's look at what she's saying.
I don't wanna get you.
So she's like, don't wanna get.
Don't wanna get.
And you can see the wanna is starting right here. In fact, where it starts to wobble, the pitch is where she's going, what? And it makes sense because the vocal cords are vibrating along, and then she blocks the path with her W, and the pitch goes up a little bit on this, right? Okay, pitch comes up a little bit. So she's I don't wanna. Here's the N. You can see the N right there, right? And the W. So one of the things to do is to start cutting those at those points, and watch what happens. I just need to learn to use Logic here. So I'm going to try right before that W and right after it. And then I can see the N right there. So this should be I don't wanna.
Get you out. I don't wanna get you out my system.
Okay. So now one of the things you're going to look for is that white line should be fairly consistent. If that white line is jumping, it's going to have a in it. So I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to bring this one back up because I'm going to try to keep her all on the same pitch. Double click on it to get it right on the frequency like that. Let's see how that sounds.
System.
Oops.
I don't wanna get you.
Let me double that one.
I don't wanna get.
So right here we got a lot of going in there. So I'm going to try to get rid of that vibrato when she says the W. Let's see.
I don't wanna get you.
It's close. I don't know if we can quite do it.
I don't wanna get you out my.
I'm going to try to get rid of the vibrato there.
I don't wanna get you.
I'm going to see if I can get rid of it in this one.
I don't wanna get you out.
It's probably about as good as I can get it.
Yeah, vibrato is not something you want to always to completely get rid of. You just want to generally even it out.
It depends. Well, in the music that's being played now, there's like artificially no vibrato. They're making it really extreme, right? Like Drake sounds like a robot, right? It doesn't sound natural at all. So this program here is actually very natural sounding. So even if you take out all the vibrato, usually what there is there's enough of a change in the throat and the voice the way it's going, and it still sounds pretty natural.
Okay.
But in the music you do, you might want some more vibrato. But I'd say in popular music right now, vibrato is not used much. Right? So that's probably about as good as I can
Don't
do.
wanna get you.
You know, there's
out
still a little bit in there.
Or was that little spike at the end?
Okay, now, so we get to this thing right here. Now you see the pretty big jump. So if I just turn that down, I'm going to lose the drop off here, right? So I have to decide, do I want to give up that drop? One of the things I can do is, if you remember the pitch drift in the beginning, I can do that. That's a little too much. So I'm probably going to try to carefully do this. I might have to scissor it right at the end of that word. Let's see what happens.
Don't wanna get you.
Yeah, it didn't sound too bad, but sometimes you have to scissor the edge of the word like that. Like that.
Don't wanna get you out my system. Don't wanna get you.
Yeah, that's about as good as we're going to get there. That would be a note that I probably in production with her would be like, we need to do that word. Do it just a little bit. Or maybe when the music's going, you don't even notice it. We could do the same thing with here. So
I don't wanna get.
she's got the and if you look, basically she's scooping probably from this B up to this D here, or C sharp, sorry. She's probably doing that, I'm guessing, right? That's probably what's going on. So I could do that, but
Get you out
Oops.
my. I don't wanna get.
yeah, that sounded
you
pretty
out.
good, right? That sounded pretty good right there.
I don't wanna get you out my system.
I can't quite get rid of that vibrato on that one. It's just coming in a little strong.
I don't wanna get you out my system.
Probably as good as I can get. Now this one I'm not even worried about because it's just a drop, right? It's just a drop. So you might have some of those. You know, this one of the things you can do is you can right click and I can reset the pitch, reset to original pitch here. So that one doesn't even need to be on. None of us hear, oh, she's going down to an A there.
I don't wanna get you out my system.
Okay, and then if we had that with music.
No. I don't wanna get you out my system.
So if I was producing this with her, I'd have to say that note we have a little issue with. I'm not able to quite get it smooth. Okay. Let me just go to the next section here. You can look at this. So as I look at this one, I'm looking at kind of those same notes again. I got a feeling that she's probably coming in on B there. I can see that she's going to go up a little bit here. She's coming back down to the A. This is probably not meant to be an A here. I'm guessing that she's trying to get up there. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
I am looking for, I know
Oops.
I am looking for, I know.
You can see we have the same problem right there in that note, right? She's got a little bit of a glottal stop going on in there that's confusing it, and frankly, it's going to be a little hard to correct that. A little hard.
I am looking for,
See how smooth that did that though, right there? You really did well on that one, right?
I am looking for, I know.
Yeah, I'm actually. I don't know what to do about that one. I'm going to try to get those white lines to match up a little bit more. Oops, not the format. Picture. I'm trying. Oh, right. She's probably going up to a D, isn't she? Yep, there you go. That helps. So let me bring that pitch drift. So what I'm watching when I'm bringing that pitch drift down right here is I'm trying to make that white line smooth.
No, I am looking for, I know a dish.
Still a little hard, right? And bring the vibrato down. Maybe I can not have it come from so low. Eesh, it's hurting me.
Dish. I am looking for, I know a dish. I am looking for, I know a dish.
There's not much I can do with that one, right? She's got that. It's just a little bit too much wobble in there, and so probably that's about the best we can do. We're trying to smooth out that white line as much as possible. And here you can see here there's a couple notes.
I know I did.
New, so you want to probably cut those two. Maybe she's hitting that note. Let's see.
For I know a dish.
And she's coming a little low there, so I'm gonna shorten it. There. Now this one's pitch drifting. So again, I'm just looking at trying to keep that white. Oops. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. No, I'm not able to even quite hit that note. That's
For
fine.
I know a dish.
Sounds
For
weird,
I know a dish.
Yeah, so
I am looking for I know a dish.
little chipmunky. That's it. That white line is what your pitch is going to be, right? And as you work with lyrics, you'll be able to know. Like for me, I looked at that right away and I was like, dang, that's going to be pretty hard to overcome that one. Now, the other thing you can do here is that you can quantize it if you want. So we can make sure she's singing on 16ths, increase the strength, and it puts her on the 16ths.
I am looking for I know a dish.
Which of course sounds horrible. I can be like, oh, let me start early. So I'll make her start a 16th early here.
I am looking for a
And I can have that long note.
no addition. I am looking for a no
Maybe I really want to drag that note out.
addition. I am looking for a no addition.
That's a good way to get rid of the garble is just cut it, make it really short.
I am looking for a no addition.
So the way to get rid of the wobble would just be like to extend it, right?
Keep doing, yeah, it's kind of basically what I'm playing around with as much as you can, right? Pretty hard to get rid of a wobble on that
I
move,
am looking for a no addition.
right? So I can start to change the phrase there. You hearing that? And when I lengthen that one, looks how it shortens the next one, right?
I am looking for a no addition.
I'm tripping all over the
I
place.
am looking for a no addition.
Now, if you end up with this here, I wish the zoom tool would work. Sorry. It's designed for these notes to be stacked. So if I lengthen this one, it shortens the next one, right? If I want to keep this starting point where it is, but lengthen this end point, I have to chop in between there so that there is some space in between. And now, even though you can't see it, I can lengthen that one without hitting up on that next one.
Looking for a no addition.
Actually, I like that. Questions? Then naturally, of course, I could take that one, move it down. Yep. Got to turn on. Oh, sometimes you have to pick flex pitch down here too, right?
I am looking for a no addition.
I grab those. Oops. Where'd I go? Sorry.
I am
Oops. And what was she now? I've already blanked. I'm sorry, I moved too much. Where were we? What was it on D?
I am looking for a no.
Sorry. You get the idea though,
I
right?
am looking for a no addition.
Speaking vocal section.
You don't do a third pretty well though, right? You heard that.
Is there a way to automatically have it divided into more notes instead of you having to chop it?
It does it intelligently like this, and it's its best guess.
Because you see all that note right there.
Yeah.
It's jumping.
This one right here. Yeah, exactly. So here,
For a no.
a little too much, right? So I probably would.
For a no addition. Looking for a no addition.
Let's see if we keep going. There. What's this at?
For a no addition. Oh,
You can hear
you
that.
give me a high, but I wanna cry.
It's not,
I am looking for a no addition. Oh,
right? If that had music going on, maybe you don't even hear that, right? Let's see.
I am looking for I don't wanna get you out my system. No. I am looking for a no addition.
What's that?
So if you just completely messed up the phrase and like just cannot salvage it, how would you just undo it and start again?
Okay, so if I
I can see
and
myself.
it's kind of getting to that point with that one pitch there. I'm not sure why the zoom tool is not working on this here. So if I'm here,
I don't wanna get you.
if I didn't have any choice in that, you right click on it and you set to original pitch and just give up on it.
I don't wanna get you. I don't wanna get you out my system. I don't wanna get you out my system.
Makes sense. You can start on. Other questions? That's flex pitch. Use that in the song, right? Set the timing, change the phrases. So the biggest problem are these kind of wobble. You know, if there's too much wobble in it. Now it's significant if she probably has to recut that vocal. Vocals are a pain to get right. This is what everyone listens to, right? My suggestion is don't do vocal music. I can't believe we don't have a synthesizer that does it for us. But it just seems like it should be,
Serum getting close.
be awesome. Just type it in.
Serum has it. Just, it gives
I
you
think
a
it's the
table
same
that.
reason why we still get live recordings of live instruments.
The only one who have is voice, though.
What?
The only live instrument you have is voice.
I know, but like, there's a lot of people that still record with bands, even though like some of their music is instrumentals.
Yeah.
It's made.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Um,
the live aspect.
Yeah, I think it would be great if someone would tackle. It'd be awesome if someone could tackle maybe getting a little more of the Drake sound. I was hoping to have that for you by the time we started this semester, but I ran out of time. Just wanted to figure that one out. Yeah, Freddie. I don't know what I think of you on that one too. Seems like a good. Max, you could do that. Cyrus, you could do this. So, yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing. And then you go on YouTube and people are like, "This is how you do it." And he's like, "No, that doesn't sound like it." Doesn't sound like it. So, yeah, and I'm not sure in Logic how well it could be done. So he's probably using Melodyne, which is what the guy here was showing me. It still didn't sound like it. I'll show you. Oh, so one of the tools that kind of can get it going on this program is. Let me turn off Flex Pitch. If you go into Audio Effects Pitch, you will see pitch correction here.
We tried.
And you can do this one like this.
I don't wanna get you out.
And you can set the response rate very fast,
No.
like 40 or below.
I ain't looking for no addition.
Not doing it too much. And you can mute the notes you don't want it to be. Oops.
I'm being a No. I ain't looking for no addition.
Still not doing it. Still not doing it in the way that like I hear Drake do.
How do you get this to like work? Because I never can seem to like get it to work the way it should.
This?
Yeah, it never works for me. I try to do that, it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of clunky.
Yeah, it's a little clunky.
You usually have to end up drawing the vocals in. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, like on Drake, how are they drawing the vocals in to do that? I don't know if they're doing, I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, I haven't had time. I wanted to figure it out for you guys, but just didn't have time with the break. You know, I don't know if they're putting in, like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe there's a way, yes, turn off that. You know, maybe there's a way, can you draw pencil? I mean, can you, I don't know. You know, is there like an editor on the, wow, like what did it do?
I don't get you out my city.
I don't know why I just lost that note. There we go. Maybe that'll sound like Drake.
I don't get you out my city.
Dropped off, so there's some exploration to do that. That would be a great one if someone wants to pick that up, by the way.
How to teach Drake book? How to Drake.
Or Drake-ish. To make it sound like kind of computerized sound, but sort of human too at the same
Yeah.
time, right? It's a little bit of both. Other questions on Drake? You guys know about vocal doubling? You guys heard of vocal doubling?
Yeah.
It's another important one. Vocal doubling works like this. If I unpack these, unpack. I now have these two tracks right here. I'm not gonna. Why is it soloing that?
I was a girl, just wanna fuck.
Something's going on there.
Your pitch correction is
Make
so
me
Oh, thanks.
inside my make me.
What is this doing?
Make me.
Oh. So for some reason it's created 3 of the exact same track?
I think you
I'm not sure what just happened there.
Expand to
Okay, here we go. And it's muted them right the way you unmute regions up here, okay? Okay, here we go.
I was a girl,
That's vocal doubling.
just wanna fuck, and he was a man.
Those are the 2 takes
who
together.
wanted control.
By the way, most singers don't sing that similarly. She did so. So you could do that right there,
I was a girl,
and then you could turn on
just
flex.
wanna fuck, and he was a man who wanted control.
I can do flex pitch here. I can zoom in right here.
Who wanted control. I was a girl, just wanna fuck, and he was a man who wanted control.
And then I can line them up here, right? I can say,
He wanted control.
now what I haven't figured out, if anyone could figure this out, it'd be great. See how this one's zoomed in more than this one? I haven't figured out how to get that to look different, but if I want those to end at the same time, this one's ending a little later, so I can move that one back a little bit so it lines up with that one. I can see that's pretty lined up. So I'm lining up the 2 tracks. Got it? Jink, jink, jink. I'm just looking at where the notes start and stop there. It's actually, when I'm dragging, it is clicking, it is snapping to the, I can see this one's a little late right down here, so I'm going to move that one back a little bit. Jink, jink. This one's a little late, so I can move this back. Or maybe the other one's early, could go either way. And then I'm hovering around this and I can't get it to turn to the thing and it pisses me off. Because it's like, come on, Logic, really? There we go.
damn it, Logic.
Yep.
Damn it, Apple.
This is because they removed the USB port from the MacBook Pro.
Yeah, that's why this is an example. So now when I play those 2, they should be a little more in line with each other.
I was a girl, just wanna fuck, and he was a man who wanted control.
Right? Got it? So I'm just doing I'm moving the timings on those and then I would probably tune them, right? I'd probably tune them. I don't know. I might be able to just,
Could you select both of them and like tune them both at the same time?
I was a girl,
I just did.
just wanna fuck,
No,
and he was a man
like they both show up
who
on the same
wanted
like
control.
MIDI grid.
No,
You can't do
it's
that?
really annoying. And like I said, I can't figure out how to zoom in on this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if you took the vocal and you did the where you unpacked it and did voice doubling, and then but moved one of them by maybe a third,
Yeah, I can do that.
then would that create kind of like the Les Paul Mary Ford thing that did back in the 50s, where you, the way her voice used to be manipulated for like how high the moon and
I have no idea what you're talking about.
you don't know. Oh, you don't. Yeah, that's it.
The
Yeah.
50s?
I was a girl,
Yeah, that's very
just
close to
wanna
it.
fuck, and he was a man who wanted control.
And then I could maybe even make her sound like a dude.
Please tell me you know who Les Paul is.
So I know who Les Paul is.
Thank you. You scared me there.
I just don't know what
who wanted
effect to
control.
turn.
Can you go crazier with the format? I want to hear him.
He's
What's
the
that?
father of overdubbing.
You gotta go.
I was a girl, just wanna fuck, and he was a man who wanted control.
I'm being serious.
Other questions?
Who wanted control.
Where's the
I was a
format?
girl, just wanna fuck, and he was a man who wanted control.
What did you do there?
Format. That was the format shift.
Okay.
Pretty trippy, right?
You wouldn't ask me like that.
Other questions on this? So vocal doubling is used a lot. If you listen, if you hear that sound, what I had there when I first went to it, that is one of.
I was a girl, just wanna fuck. I was a girl,
That is it.
just wanna fuck, and he was a man who wanted control.
The pitch is probably so good there that you'd actually want to increase. A lot of times you'll do one like +7 to +10, and the other one -7 to -10. So I'm just doing the fine pitch on all of them.
So
was a girl who just wanted fun, and he was a man who wanted control.
And then you can take that and you can pan one left and right.
I was a girl who just wanted fun, and he was a man who wanted control.
We've heard that before, right?
You.
Is that you?
Excuse me.
I want to edit that.
Other questions?
Yeah.
Take that one out.
Yes.
How long is the song supposed to be? Did you say?
3 to 3.
3 to 3:30.
See you next Wednesday.
Due on Monday. Make it for your portfolio, right? I mean, you got some killer drums and killer riffs. About, what was it, sedatives?
Incentives. And
Crazy.
crazy
Busted
kneecaps.
Scrubs and elbows or whatever the hell.
Busted kneecaps.
Busting kneecaps. Busting kneecaps.
Peas, yeah, peas.
Right. Yeah, I don't know the green peas.
Yeah,
Are we done?
It's like 17.
yes.
So we'll be ready Monday. We'll come back. We'll listen through songs. Why don't we do the same thing? Why don't you guys favor? We'll listen to the top 3 songs when we come in Monday. So I'll create a discussion. I'll create a discussion board, and probably on Monday you go through and be like, yeah, this one, this one. We'll pull the top 3. Just do the like thing right in the discussion board. Yeah.
There's no class Monday?
No class Wednesday.
Okay, so that means no meeting for.
You won't be able to get in here. You can meet somewhere else,
You can be in the green room.
Well, I think it's really important we have a
or the
meeting.
student lounge.
Yeah, we need to have a meeting because it's not going to get started unless we.
Can we meet
Well,
earlier
also-
then?
Also,
we should
the joiner club is next.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, so we
Yeah,
need
can we-
ideas for joiner club. I really want that cash prize if we win. There's 4 winners, and we need people to help us with posters. So if anybody wants to like,
Will the
Oh, I
cash
need-
prize just go back into the club?
yes, and I
Pay
need
for the website.
or my bank account, and I need. No. I need to reserve a time for us to use the dungeons to make posters. 'Cause we have all that stuff for free. So I just need to know how many people are going to be there and like want to help out. So we should meet Wednesday. I really.
So where are we gonna meet?
Can we meet like earlier though?
Yeah,
Like,
so
does anyone have
yeah,
a commitment before 12?
Wait for like 4 hours in this class.
You did today.
I know.
We're not gonna have a class on Wednesday, so like why be here for 4 hours just for?
That's true. We're not just trying to write up a theory.
Yeah.
Because most of the people in this class are in the same theory class.
Or you guys could do it. You could do it after business class or something. You know. Or no, you got the live stuff.
That's
No, we don't.
We have Maximilian.
Yeah, we got Max and 1, 2.
Yeah, and then Thursday we got Dana's.
Yeah.
By the way, how the other classes going? How's the live audio?
Data's awesome.
Great.
I like
Yeah,
both.
Data's great and Max is great. They're
Both of them are
Actually
great?
reminds me of like any San
Data's
Francisco
wonderful.
person.
I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
Don't fight!
Good.
Respect each other! San Francisco!
Is that Max? He's very.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be Max?
What's that?
Yeah.
He seems very Bay Area.
Respect each other.
Very what? Bay Area?
Hey, don't get in each other's way now.
Is he Bay Area? I don't know.
Yeah, he said that.
My phone flew into the ocean.
Yeah, he was all smiling. Okay, $10 an hour. Wait,
We'll have
guys.
another new. Hopefully, the guy for audio for multimedia will be a new person this fall.
Alright.
He's like an old.
So far we got
No,
some
this
hits.
is old dude. He's like an old Italian.
Is he good?
He's so
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, is he good? Like that's all.
Yeah, you can tell he's like.
Already hired him.
You can tell he's like
Already
totally
know.
old school, and you can tell he's been in the industry for a really long time.
Does he make
He's
a
got
good
that
marinara
feeling.
sauce?
What's that? Yeah, I bet he does. His mom, yeah.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Wait, he's Italian?
He's like one of those people you wouldn't want to piss off, you know, like.
So I was like, does he make a
We
good
need more of
marinara
those.
sauce?
He's here still.
Be him, and
Does he got white
then
hair?
you guys will have me for.
Does he have white hair?
He might no.
Those are the
So he'll be your audio for multimedia. You have me for songwriting. Who's going to take songwriting, by the way? Anyone not going to take songwriting? Yeah, it seems to make sense. So
So
you have me for songwriting. You have me for the live audio performance next spring, which will basically we'll do DJing and Ableton Live, right? So and we're going to perform then, right?
Oh,
By the way, in that class, you're going to have to do 3 performances
For capstone.
off campus. So
Hey,
get,
then, Murphy, are we gonna be
get
filming?
yourself ready.
Hey, are we gonna be using the same performers for WOTA? Like me, Steven, Daniel, Christian? Or is- you know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then you'll have Joe. So you'll have Joe, and then I don't know who you'll have for your capstone. It'll be one of them: Dana, Max, Joe, Phil, or.
Wait, so it'll be 3 classes or
Make it
4?
Dana.
What's that?
It'll be 3 or 4 classes next semester.
Next semester, you're going to take songwriting with me.
Mhm.
You're going to take audio for multimedia,
Mhm.
and then what else?
The live performance.
So songwriting's elective. You could take something else,
Okay.
which I would suggest small business entrepreneurship.
So 4 classes. Capstone, performance.
No, capstone will be next spring. God, I can't even remember how does the audio program work.
History of ACDC.
Shut up.
History of ACDC.
This is the
Oh, I
one.
wonder where people are back in
Oh.
Let's have a meeting in the green room on Wednesday.
I thought we weren't allowed.
What
I can
time?
ask
No, we
them
can't
for
DJ
response.
in there.
What
We can't
time?
hang out in the
Oh,
booth
okay.
Friday.
Oh, they have a meeting in the.
Friday around noon.
I'm
Noon.
down with that.
Let's just meet up.
Yeah, so if you guys have already taken theory, you're only going to have 2 classes this fall: audio for multimedia and songwriting.
That's it?
Really?
Oh, shit.
Small business.
And then next spring you got next spring you got this and this.
Hey, take another
And then we
semester
graduate
there,
Friday.
yo.
Then I'm hoping you got a portfolio together. By the way, in the business class, I really want you guys to get internships for this summer.
Yeah, he's been pushing that too.
So your webpage should be up with all your information. You should know in the industry. You should have an internship for the summer. We should
there's
do
3
marketing and
non-science
promoting for
department,
WOTA,
which
and
is
then I'm hoping that
level 2.
database
There's 4
thing.
levels.
You guys are working on that.
So Dana scores music for like TV shows and stuff like that, right?
Cage fighting. That's his
Cool.
thing.
Okay.
Has he told you about cage fighting
No, he
yet?
told us about the Kardashians.
Yeah, ask him about. Just ask him innocently if he knows anything about cage fighting
I am definitely
and what his lessons learned are.
We went to his house and he didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Hold on. Out of all of these electives and whatnot, what do you think will help me have his job, basically, like do what he does?
I would totally take this here. Definitely music theory,
At least level 1.
songwriting,
Okay.
and then this is the internship, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have class?
And then like
So your
work
class-
experience.
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
For $299, do we apply that ourselves or?
Yeah, go find it yourself. Absolutely.
Can we
like,
take
do
the
we-
class-
Is it like a course and then we have to find it or?
No, I have the course here. So you come to me and say, I have an internship with Sony this summer. And I'm like,
Oh,
great.
you get credit
You're going to
for
sign
it.
up for $299
Okay.
and you get credit for it.
Okay.
So if you did enough of these, you wouldn't have to take any of those other classes, right?
Okay.
If you got 3 units
I
of
want to
internship.
do electrical
But using
class.
internship is so. This is what I'd love for this.
Are there prereqs for the
You
elective
guys-
class?
You guys should not be waiting until you graduate to get a job. That internship is where you start doing that. You go work for a place and all that. But again, the music industry, it's not like they're waiting for people to show up. They don't have all these jobs just sitting there, right? I really think that you guys are going to be building that job. Building that job. So I am putting on an ecstatic dance in 3 weeks. I'm going to invite you guys all to. And man, I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I have no idea what I'm doing with my buddy, but we're just doing it. It's good. Let's see what happens. So you guys should be doing the same. You should be doing the same right now.
So keep saying let's rent out a warehouse.
Rent out a warehouse. Right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm renting it's a yoga studio. I'm renting at $45 an hour, $150, and I will charge you guys $10 an hour to get in. Student discount.
$10 an hour?
$10. Sorry. And but the other people who are the tickets are either gonna be $15 or $20 an hour. And then I'm like, so if we get 10 people, we've made our money back. If we get 50 people, it will
We're
be money
having a
that
pizza
night.
party.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, can't you guys do that already? Don't you know enough people?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a hermit.
Like introverts.
Yeah, I know.
We're musicians, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
also we don't know when we can check out equipment.
Right, and we're getting
One
close.
big extra, one big
We're
extra.
getting. We are April 1st. We should, by April 1st, we should be able to check out.
That's not a joke.
Are there prereqs for
That's not April
No
Fool's.
joke.
Like Frank, right?
What's that?
Are there prereqs for the electrician classes?
The sorry.
The circuits class.
Yeah. So these,
ACDC?
okay, I would take these classes if you want to go into like
It's like developing synthesizers.
engineering, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt at all to know it, but this is like if you want to go work for Extron or something like that.
Might as well. I knew my
This is probably if you actually want a job. These are probably good classes to take. Right? Going into electrical engineering, you're bridging that gap between electrical engineering and this.
Is that major here or electron?
Yes, engineering. Yeah, it's electronic engineering. So have I? And I've emphasized with you guys the importance. You guys are all young. You should really go for it like crazy. But I think in your back pocket you should have, some sort of IT, business, or nursing, frankly, backgrounds. Right? Be thinking. By the time I'm 30, I actually need to be putting food on the table. So I'm going to go for this audio thing. But if you find yourself too scared or feeling like you don't have the talent or not finding your path for going out there and making this thing with your colleagues here, yeah, become a teacher like me, exactly. You need to know that about yourself, right? I got a feeling everyone in this room has got a skill to put in there. Not everyone can sing, not everyone can program synthesizers, not everyone can do this one or two things, but I'll bet everyone here can do something. And this group is the place where you can start to find that, right? If Ronnie's better at something, you don't necessarily have to do what Ronnie's doing. You can try something else that fits in with what she's doing, right? So that would be, if I was in your position, I would be like, let's do this. Let's get this going. Let's schedule that event on April 28th or whatever. Let's try and we'll check out the equipment. I would say come April 1st. I feel like I can get you equipment after that point. And sometime between then and June 10th, when classes get out, see if you can get an event going. And start going for it. Steve Jobs what sold the Apple computer before he even had it. So did Bill Gates. He was hacking apart the operating system, MS-DOS, that he bought for $5,000. And I think the same day sold it for $30,000 or $50,000.
No, he sold it and then bought it. He sold it and then, by the way, that thing I just sold, I better go buy it so I can have it to sell.
He licensed copies and bootlegged a version of it, so it wasn't really the same one. It was modified, but nonetheless.
And he was hacking through it on the way there.
And he licensed it from a bootlegger who had stolen it from somebody
There
else.
you go. So, there you go. Right? So, if you guys are hacking this through, it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. If you're going to a club where people get nice and drunk, and you can keep them moving around, and there's some smoke and lights, everyone will be happy. Right? So, not that your songs are that great. Or you're playing Spotify. Screw it. So anyway, I just want to keep pushing you on that. It's time to start now, really. Because like I said, you're not going to get much of a gig because you took this class. Oh, well, let's hire you then. I didn't know you took music at 200 exactly, right? So, there you go. That's my shtick. And keep in the back of mind, by the time you're 30, you need to be able to make some money.
Think you can
Bear that
If you
in
keep
mind.
your pants zipped and don't have kids, you can go a little bit longer. Kids change the whole dynamic. All right, gang. Have a great night.
I gotta figure out what
I'll see you guys on
next week. Be safe.
next week. I won't. Don't worry.